Hey, g'day legends, and thanks for tuning in. This week's video, we're back on the Detroit Dodge. Got the bullet back from the engine shop, should be good to go. Got the chassis in the shed, gonna get the front end back under it, the engine in it, and see if we can get a start out of it, eh? So grab your frothy, your coffee, kick back, relax, and enjoy the vid. Rightio, so like I was just saying, this is the old front end. I'm gonna use the original spring setup, like I said in a previous video. So I'm gonna roll that whole front end back under the scene, get it set up. Then I've got to do some measurements, because essentially what I'm gonna do is make some adapter plates to go from that axle up to pick up the original leaf springs. It's gonna be the easiest way going forward with this thing to run the factory spring and shackle setup and just adapt that front axle to suit. So, but for now, we'll just get that front end pinned back under this thing. Once we got that happening, we'll get the engine out of its engine stand, set it back in place. I should have enough bits. I've got a starter motor there. I've got to set up the oil filter on this thing, set up some fuel to it, and hopefully we can get a start out of it. This thing got rebuilt years ago and it never started. The engine shop set up the new flywheel housing, the mechanical pump, fuel filter, everything else I need to tidy it up on it, but it hasn't been started yet. So hopefully we can get a start out of it and all goes well. So let's crack into it, eh? Rightio, so she's in. Looks like it's going to work out a treat. Nothing's changed since we first fitted, but I've just been looking at spots where I can put that engine oil filter head. Not too sure yet. I've got plenty of room. I reckon I can put it somewhere along the outside of the chassis rail here. I don't think the tyres are going to interfere whatsoever. Suspension's going to clear, so I don't need to mount it just yet, but I was just sort of looking. As we can see, with the new low profile sump, we got acres of room now to the suspension, so that is bloody awesome. What I was looking at though is the starter motor. I've got to rotate the nose cone on the starter motor to get it to go into position, because it's rotated for a different engine. I don't know if any of you have ever played with these big 50 MTs or whatever starters, but as you can see, there's different bolt patterns on these nose cones. So I'm gonna have to pull this nose cone off, rotate it, get it set in there. Then after that, yeah, I'm gonna have to work out if I can sort out these oil lines, get that oil filter head set up. I've got to get a hose tail for the fuel pump to hook diesel up to it. And if I can manage all that, yeah, then I can get attempt to get a start out of it. So I've got enough batteries and stuff here for 24 volts. So I'll get that starter sorted, then I might have to duck into town and yeah, see if I can get something happening with these hoses, get some oil, and then yeah, fire it up. Rightio legends, so as you can see, I've got the starter motor bolted on, it's clocked, it's happy, it's in the right rotation. I've got the jumper leads on, I've got my second battery hooked up, got the old white truck doing some work. I've already given it a test spin here. I'll just show you what she sounds like. Oh yeah, she's gonna go. So, and I also went ahead, it had no oil in it, so oil's been filled up. It's about an inch overfull on the dipstick, so that's all sorted. I couldn't round up enough bits to do the oil filter, but as you can see, I've just put a hose on it and looped it around. So it's gonna move all around the engine, it'll have oil pressure, but yeah, I didn't have enough bits or an oil filter to make the oil filter work today. So anyway, it'll be happy either way. I've got some diesel. I've got the suction line hooked up to the pump. I haven't cranked it over to try and get fuel up yet, but I got the plug loose on top of the fuel filter housing, so we'll crank it over, see if we can pick some fuel up. And actually before that, gonna have to find something to shut this thing down just in case the governor's set up wrong and it runs away on me. So I might go and locate something for that. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but in the event it does, I'll do that, and then we'll start cranking on it, try and get some fuel up, and then see if we can get a fire out, eh? Right, yeah, I had a quick search around, and this should do the trick, the old breadboard. So yeah, just in case she runs away, hopefully it definitely doesn't do that, but we'll have that on standby. But just for now, like I say, I'll give it some cranks, see if we can pull some fuel up into that filter, and hopefully we can pull some fuel up and yeah, get this thing cranking. She's turning over pretty good. I don't know if we've pulled any diesel up yet, but can't really see anything down there anyway. I guess we'll just keep cranking, and yeah, actually I might kick the white ute in the guts, give it a few more voltage just so we don't run those batteries too far down. Don't check she's in park. Oh yeah. Oh, white ute just loves it. So let's give her another crank. Yep. Oh yeah. We got diesel. We have diesel. All right. Might just gently put that back in there. See if she self bleeds. Otherwise, yeah, we'll just crank her over, and either we'll have to bleed it or we'll give her a sniffer brake clean. But we'll see what we got. Oh, now the starter mode doesn't want to play. Oh, we'll be right back when we sort the starter out. Oh, well, it seems to be playing ball now. We'll keep cranking, see what we got, eh? Just as I say that. There we go. Oh. She might need a bleed, eh? We'll have a little look. She may need a bleed, and yeah, we'll give another hit, eh? Yeah! Woo! Seems like the oil needs to be lifted up a bit, I think. How rowdy is this thing? Oh, it's so good. Well, I guess the ruckus of the Detroit has brought the rain down. Must have been a rain song or something. But yeah, she's belting down here now. But yeah, how bloody good does that Detroit sound? Like, I don't know if the video does it justice, but this thing is barking. Like, I know it's got no exhaust on it, but that's pretty rowdy for a diesel. So I probably should explain, when I was trying to get this thing primed up, originally I didn't realise I didn't put this fuel filter on. The engine mob did, and they put it on and the plastic was still covering the internal of the fuel filter. That's why it wasn't bleeding, essentially. So I pulled the fuel filter off and I'm like, what the hell? Put it back on, cranked it up, sure enough started returning diesel, and then fired up pretty much instantly. So I'm so stoked on this thing. This is bloody awesome. I'm glad that the engine's a good runner. That's a big headache that I was trying to avoid. I didn't know the condition of the engine was supposed to be rebuilt, but you never do know. So it's a big tick off the list for this thing. Obviously, there's a long way to go on it, but just to hear this diesel fire up, that's an absolute tick on my list. So, that's just made me day. Well, it's probably made me week actually. So like I say, I've got to do some measuring for this front axle to make those adapter plates, get this other front axle under it. The new rims and tyres are ordered. I was kind of hoping they'd be here this week, but hopefully they'll come next week. I can't wait to throw them on to see how it all looks. And like I sort of said in a previous video, what I need to do is get that axle under it and the rims and tyres that it's going to be running on, sitting on it, with the engine installed, get the front ride height worked out where that's going to sit final, and then once that's figured out, I'll go to the rear end and work out what I'm going to do. If I full link it, whether I put on leaves, bags, whatever, I've got to get that front end sorted, so we're 2 steps closer to doing that with the engine in it and the springs back under it. So yeah, once I get that axle done and mounted, get the rims and tyres on it, then we can sort of move to the rear of this thing. But I'm so pumped, you've got no idea. So as always, I appreciate you watching. If you could do us a favour, like, comment, share and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.